Make a U-turn. In 1,000 feet, slide left, take the next left, sharp left, turn right on, continue on, in a quarter mile, at the light, in 600 feet, turn right on. You have reached your destination.
Well, it looks like I just slaughtered a moose. But I've been using, wet sanding. Where's my thing? Wet sanding using this sucker and lots of water. So it splashes and it looks pretty gory, but I've got this one done and this one done. Done being, more or less sanded down, ready for primer at some point. I've got repairs to do. On this one, right there, and right there, and on this one, all of that, plus this, and I think that was it. Yeah, so I'm actually going to stop for the day, because I need to get my shit ready to go, my stuff ready to go with fiberglass, etc. To do the proper repairs. How about that? And to clean myself up, I look like a butcher. So there we go. Okay, let's start off on some basic repair techniques here. This I fill in with fiberglass, call it a day, and then smooth it out. This is of concern if I leave it be. Now, imagine, if you will, the entire thing gets stressed or moved or stretched or whatever, and this starts to work. Look at the very bottom. Come on now. Look at the very bottom of that crack. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Repair 101 on Navy ships, especially, and with fiberglass, is to drill a hole right there. So if the crack widens or there's stress, the hole gets bigger and smaller. Well, look at my sausage fingers. Gets bigger and smaller with that stress. Otherwise, if I don't treat this, that crack will continue all the way up and it'll get worse and worse. So actually, it's a pretty easy fix. What I'm going to do, excuse me, is drill that hole and then take a grinder and cut off those jagged pieces. Then I'll fill it in. And I will show you the rest here in a second. I also have that to do, I've already mentioned, plus that little bit right there. That's just a quick fill and such, as well as that and any other piece that I come across as needing some repair. But in all, this is a very good piece. It's a very good piece. This is minor repair. I could paint this car, paint this fender like this, and you would likely never see it. This you might see, maybe, but again, oh yeah, and that one there. That piece there. Let's talk about this. A couple ways of doing that. I could drop some resin into that and just clamp it closed, or I can take off that entire piece and lay down more fiberglass, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'll show you that as well. So, one moment. Okay, I thought I'd kind of talk about this stuff again. I've got what's called tiger hair, okay? Bondo has a variant of this called Bondo hair. And all it is, resin, fiberglass resin, with short strand fiberglass bits in there. This stuff is structural. It's that good. I'm just going to, stir it up a little bit. But it's a two-part thing. There's this, and then there's the hardener right there. Okay, a little of this goes a long way, and as you can see, it's really easy to use. Really easy to mix up. It's really easy to mix. It's really easy to apply. So once I'm done kind of making this thing a little bit more uniform, I will add this to it, and then you will see. Oh fuck! I can't do this without like 4 or 5 hands. I've dug out all the junk I don't want in there. I've dug out all the junk I don't want in there, and I'm going to fill that in, and then over that, I'm going to overlay a piece of actual fiberglass, right? I've dug out that piece there. Then I'll get some more in a couple of other spots. Where was the other one? I thought there was one more that I had found. Anyway, that stuff there is what's going to go in there, and then you'll see the rest of it after I'm all done. I have a couple things I want to prepare first, and then, you know, that's that. So, done a little bit more. I fixed that. I should say I patched that. I haven't fixed it yet because I haven't sanded all the crap off. That, that, which is ugly as sin, that is almost done. Here's how the other side looks. I don't think I took pictures, but I've got a whole bunch of this stuff here. You make boats out of this. Very thick. Very, very good stuff. And I cut that into strips and put it behind that piece there. And then I, fiberglassed it in. On this one, damn it, I'll be doing the same thing. Drill a hole right there, widen the expanse. Drill a hole right there, widen that expanse. Let's see what else. That. Oh, it's the same thing. All this red stuff is paint that I'd kind of scrubbed off yesterday. I don't think I've got a whole lot of other repairs on this. A little bit, that's cosmetic. That's cosmetic. Hold on. I'm eating jelly beans. I just inhaled one. God damn it. So 2 places to fix, and that's it. This one's also in very good condition. So I'll get right to that. I'm going to let that one cure overnight. Got a big, not a big, it looks big, but almost all of that will be ground away once it's fully cured and hardened. And like I say, I'll let that go the entire night and get back to it tomorrow. Okay, this looks a lot messier than I would have liked, but you can see that I'll be taking off almost all of that, smoothing it out, and you'll never know that there was a repair there. This is less messy, but still just a thing, just the same. You can see where I made that cut, and again, I made the same hole as I did before, with a little bit of a addition to that corner there. I've also, and I'll let that cure overnight because I want to do other things, put some stuff on here. I've got a big-ass pneumatically driven file that's about as long as my forearm, right? And I'll use that to smooth all this down. Almost all of this will go away, leaving, I have more to put in there. More to, smooth out. Same thing over here. This one's a lot cleaner because the metal was better. The join was better. So that will take just a few minutes to clean up. I got a little bit of fill to put in there. And some fill to put in there. I don't want water leaking through. It doesn't matter. It's all coated, but it would look bad, right? So that's where we are. And that's where we're going to stop for the night because I have things to do. So there we go. All right, here's what I've got. All this dried really nicely, and I've got a little bit of low spot here to do. Really, the low spot is from about here to about here. So I'm going to just lay down a nice square, and of course you can see obviously there and here. On the other side, I've got something similar, but not as bad. The low spot is just about where you see it, so I'm going to put that back in. Again, I'm going to be, this is not Bondo, this is fiberglass. And like epoxy, fiberglass is a 2-parter, and therefore it is waterproof. Just about. Unless under pressure. All right, let's go look at the fenders. I have repaired some down here, but they it needs a little bit more, as you can see there in the corner. That's easy. I've also repaired this, but again, low spots. I need to add more there. Let's see where else. I think that was it. Oh yeah. There. And this was the part that had the piece that was just hanging down. So I clipped that off, took it down to a good substrate, and added more, as well as a cross piece to hold it for stability. And I found a crack back in here, which is here. I did not do a good job on that. I'm going to redo that. Let's show you how. Where's the other one? Okay, we'll look at this one, and I'll show you how I'm going to fix that crack that I just showed you. You can see here, this was one of the cracks. There's what I had drilled out. I need to add a little bit more to make it level. A low spot there I gotta fix. Where else? Oh yeah, back in here. Back in there, there was that crack. Here's what's left of it. That's nice and level. A little bit of sanding in there, but that's not bad. Nothing to add. I discovered another crack. Now, over here, I told you what a crack I'm going to redo. It's going to start out its repair life as this. Okay, there is the end of the crack. I've drilled that out, and using my angle grinder, I've cut the crack literally out of existence. And to that, I add the generous helping of fiberglass and short-haired stuff. Okay, and then from behind, take a cross piece and go this way. So if you've ever repaired larger sections of drywall, you know that there's a mesh that you can put on this stuff to add structural rigidity. I put that across the back for just that very thing, structural rigidity. So the crack doesn't come back. Okay, I've got that to do. I've got that to do. Add a bit more material like here. And maybe add some in there, maybe. Did I do anything else? No, just that. This one was relatively easy to repair. So I'll get to there. In fact, I'll show you live. Why not? There. Crack is here. Crack ends about right there. Huh. Bad paint job. So again, crack ends about right there, right? All I do okay. I'm gonna pause, get my angle grinder, and with the angle grinder, good. How you doing? Okay, so you want to get rid of that crack by literally digging it out, because it's just going to spread, and over time you will see that it turns into more and more of a crack, at least under the paint job. Fiberglass has a tendency to flex much more than steel does, and so the less flex it's got, the better. If it flexes in safe ways, that's fine too. This is a safe way. So if this thing flexes at that same pivot point, that circle there, that drilled out area, will open and close and not allow a crack to spread unless there's major stresses put on this thing. So like the other part, I'm going to use a cross piece and more fiberglass for rigidity and structural stability. And got a few places I just need to add a dollop or two of of fiberglass. God damn, I had Indian for lunch, and boy, did it do a number on me. Still broken it up. It's time for dinner, and I'm just gonna skip dinner. I'm almost done with this, obviously. All of this, actually, and that one. What little I put back on will come off tomorrow in a nice even amount, and that'll be done with these two fenders. I'll then move on to the front ones up here. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, little bit of work still left to do. You can see some pinholes in there. What I'm going to do is, God damn it, is prime over that and then fill the pinholes with filler. Fill it with filler. And the other side is just as good. I've got that area to do there, but I need to add some, I don't know. I need to add a little bit in here. Over here it's nice and smooth. Over there there's a dip and then a bump, so I've got this area here that I need to add a little bit to. Everything else is good to go and ready for more primer. I don't know what to do with this. I thought about heating it up, but I don't want that heat to transfer to here. I should have taken that out before I did any of the body work, but I'm stupid. You'll note that I have nothing here or over there because my Roadster's doing some double duty. I'm looking for the warmth and the sun. Okay. And god damn, one day's worth of... Anyway, we worked on this yesterday. Let me get out of that. Worked on that yesterday. That's filled and ready to go. We also worked on... Where is it? There's a fly. Here. That was the day before yesterday, I think it was, as well as down here. Very smooth. I did a nice job on that. I should be congratulated. And then over here, both here and here, very smooth, very nice. And same thing on this one here. You can see some areas that'll, no, those are okay. So right here, that was a good repair. It encountered more than just the crack fill that I did. Let's see what else. A little bit right there, you can kind of tell. As well as that repair. Sorry for the sun. That repair there, as well as some fill there. A little bit here and down through there. It looks a little ugly, but it's really smooth. Okay. And I've got to be careful on the back. Some things that got filled out. Okay. I also, and there's that repair there, sent it down this lip here. That lip throughout here and a little bit through there. Okay. So in all, this doesn't look very pretty. I'm going to take it back into the garage. I'm going to use my, what do you call it? Oh shit. The de-dustifying waxy things. Get the wax off of these. Get the dust off of these things. I've already washed them once, that's why they're drying outside, but I'm going to prime them tonight and let them cure, and then at some point once the other fenders are done, the front ones, I'll start in on the fine tuning, as it were, of this car. She sure doesn't need much, and I've made awesome progress in so little time. So a few more minutes of these things in the sun where they can dry out. I'm going to, like I said, de-dust, and then I'm going to prime them up. Check this out. You'll see, let me see if I can show you a really good example. Here's a good one. Right here, you can see a line that kind of zigzags up. That is the barrier, or the demarcation line between a little bit of paint and a little bit of fiberglass. So this is not unusual and it's normal, and you probably saw it. Oh, where was that? There you go. Good example right there. Geez, all that sand. This is not unusual and this is not abnormal, and this is actually a little bit of a low spot anyway, so I can fix that. But I'll get the same thing two different substrates that meet together. There's a couple ways around this. One is to sand all of every surface of this down to the gel coat. That is long and laborious and not necessarily necessary because of what I'm going to do next with this, which is sand this stuff down so it's a milky white, grayish, ashy black. Right? That's the primer blocking phase, blocking primer, whatever you call it. I'm looking for low spots, high spots, and that kind of stuff. So once this thing dries totally, cures totally, some of the stuff you won't be able to see, some of this stuff you will be able to see, and again, as I sand this down to a smoother finish, that kind of goes away. And then, before I actually paint these things, I'm going to put one more coat on, right? So this one was a little bit better in terms of how much paint and so forth was left, how much gel coat. Here's one not egregious area, but again, that's the barrier between paint, no paint, or paint and gel coat. Okay, not a big deal, easily overcomable and natural and normal in my expertise, how I've done things in the past, right? At some point, also, I'm going to primer the back of these things. If there's any exposed fiberglass, original fiberglass, the strands of the stuff to these things, I don't want water getting in there and at some point freezing and ruining the paint job. So it's always your best bet to coat the shit out of these things in fiberglass so that water intrusion doesn't mess with the actual substrate. You don't want water intrusion in this thing because you'll have rust, right? I'll paint that. I will prime that probably later once I'm done with the front fenders. And there we go. So what's the next step? Front fenders. These things are in really good condition except for that one that's missing, that one piece that I'll have to fabricate up. And if I remember correctly, that's the piece that goes here, I think. It's been a while since I did my Roadster, so I've got to think back. Certainly somebody with more expertise on MGs will be able to tell me what's missing, or where it goes when it's missing. But it might even be here where it goes into that area there. Okay, but we'll see. Later on down the road, I will take some 400 or 600 grit sandpaper and start smoothing out this primer coat. Again, I'm looking for high spots, low spots like you saw back there. And I'll fill those high spots. Sorry. I will paint the high spots, fill the low spots, and what's left is a perfect substrate, a perfect sub level for the paint to go onto. And when the paint does, and the clear coat upon that, all of the hard work that you do with this kind of stuff really pays off if you really take care of a smooth finish. Okay, so I'll post this. I'm gonna hit the shower. It's like 91 degrees outside, and I'm actually not wearing shorts today because all of my shorts are in the washing machine. And I'll check back in tomorrow with those other fenders, and I'll show you how this turned out. I want to leave these here exactly as they are and let them cure. And that is that for the night. So there we go.